Hello and welcome to Turbo Thumbs. I am Rasta Joe, and this is Techno Thumbs, the show that's all about our gaming gear. Today we're talking about Super Mario cereal. And stick around till the end, because we're giving away this custom-made Super Mario cereal Amiibo. As you may know, the box itself is actually an Amiibo. Originally released in December of 2017, most people had a hard time finding a box until well into 2018. Another Amiibo shortage. Let's look at the cereal itself for a moment. These star-shaped pieces are crunchy with a mixed berry-flavored coating. The marshmallows are squares? Oh no, it's a question block. And this one is a Yoshi egg? Oh no, it's a one-up mushroom. And this one, ooh, that's a hard one. Squished mushroom? Maybe a fireball? Oh no, it's Mario's cap. That white spot would be where the M goes. Well, now that we've got that sorted out, how does it taste? It's pretty good. I mean, it's not clothes exploding off of my body in a whirlwind cascade of flavor good, but it's enjoyable. Kind of a Lucky Charms mixed with tricks kind of flavor. Now, let's see what the Amiibo can do for us. The box says to try it with Super Mario Odyssey, so let's do that. Okay, here we go, and... one coin. That's it? One coin? That is some weak sauce right there. Actually, you can get up to 3 coins with this Amiibo. Or a single heart. Wow. Let's try it in Breath of the Wild. Let's see what we get here. An apple, raw meat, and a rushroom. The makings of a good Hylian breakfast, I guess? So, maybe it's the weakest Amiibo ever. Well, at least we can make it look cool. Let's take a look at how I made this cute little guy. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the Amiibo from the box. And you'll see in a moment, it's basically just a sticker stuck to the inside of the cardboard. There it is. And I'm going to remove it with the cardboard it's attached to so that I can use the cardboard to hold the NFC chip until I'm ready to put it in the bowl. So now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife here and I'm going to peel up just the very edge of the NFC chip. This is the easiest way to do it that I've found without tearing the cardboard or damaging the NFC chip. And once I've got enough up to grip, just going to slowly and carefully peel it off. And there's the NFC chip. So the next thing I'm going to do is use these globes that come in halves to make the bowls for the cereal. And they have these loops on them that I gotta remove. So I take my knife and I'm just pressing it into the plastic just enough to create little fissures here. Once the fissures are created, the loop just snaps off just like that. And now the stumps that are left over, I'm going to file down to make them flush with the rest of the surface of the bowl. That way when I paint them, you won't be able to tell that there was anything there at all. And there you see Stumps are filed down. It's a nice smooth surface, perfect for painting. Next, I want to get rid of the interlocking pieces of the plastic globes. So I'm just going to use some regular medium grit sandpaper. And it takes a lot of rubbing to get that down. But when it's finally done, the bowl has a nice smooth rim. Now, because I want to paint the bowls, I've got to roughen up the surface of the plastic enough for the paint to grip it. Unfortunately, paint doesn't work very well on smooth plastic, but if I just take my same sandpaper here and roughen up the surface, that'll give the paint something to grip when the time comes. And there's the final product of the sanding. Next, we're going to paint the inside of the bowls using this white Krylon spray paint meant for plastic that leaves a glossy finish. Look at them wobble. Next, I want to create a base for the bowl. And to do that, I'm going to use hot glue. I'm going to put a nice big blob of it right on the bottom center here. Then, I'll take wax paper, put it on the table, and press the glue onto the wax paper so that the glue takes a nice flat shape on the bottom that will keep our bowl stable and upright when we peel the wax paper off. Once the glue is dry, now I can spray paint the bottom of the bowl using the same white glossy spray paint as before. It should come out looking real nice, just like a real cereal bowl. The next step is to put the NFC chip into the bowl. So I'll peel it off my cardboard here, and then I'll place it in the bottom of the bowl. Then I want to press it down as deep as possible so it's easier to scan. And now I'll use my Elmer's glue. I'm going to pour that in to just above the edges of the NFC chip so that it grips the sides of the bowl and holds the NFC chip in place. Then I put it on the windowsill so that the sun can dry out the glue faster. And that's what it looks like when the glue dries. You can see it dries kind of transparent. You can see the NFC chip in there. And I actually did a few layers of glue, but I decided that was taking too long, so I switched to this DAP caulk meant for bathtubs. The caulk doesn't quite spread like the glue does, so I had to swirl it around to get it to take up all the space. And then flatten out the surface of it with my finger. I did a couple layers of the caulk to get it up to the height that I wanted. And smooth it out with my finger again. And there's, when it's dry, nice and white, like milk. Next, to make the miniature cereal boxes, I found a picture online and I printed it out on cardstock paper. Here it is, removed from the rest of the sheet. You can see it's got every detail of the real box down to even the nutritional information. So now I'm going to cut it out, being very careful not to remove any red and not to leave any excess white. And I just cut right across this part because it'll be easier to remove a little bit of white in that nook there after the next step or two. And I take a razor blade box cutter and I cut out the tabs for the box. Excuse my head. Once I've done that, I can start putting creases into the box where they would be in the actual cereal box. And I cut off the little excess white pieces here. And start holding the tabs in. Once that's done, we can fold up the box. And there's the final product. A perfect miniature Super Mario cereal box. So now I want to glue the box shut. And I'll do that using the Elmer's glue, making just a very thin line down this one tab. Put that inside. Then I want to squeeze the glue from the outside in so that any excess glue will be squeezed into the inside of the box. And do the same thing with the top tabs and bottom tabs. Now I'm going to use real cereal pieces to, whoops, held the spray can a little too close that time. But I'm going to seal the cereal with Flex Seal because it dries clear, it won't mess up the colors of the marshmallows, and it will seal the cereal so that it doesn't attract bugs. Now, in order to put the marshmallows in, I need something to mount them with. And the thin piece of wire inside of this twist tie will be perfect for that. So I'm going to take the razor blade here and strip away just a little bit of the paper and plastic of the zip tie. It doesn't take much. Once you strip away a little bit, it's pretty easy to peel away the rest to get the wire out. You can see it's nice and thin, which will be perfect. You see again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the wire up into the bottom of each marshmallow and then trim it off. And when I'm done, I'll have each marshmallow on a little stick. That'll be easier to mount in the bowl. Or, alternately, we could make tiny s'mores. So now, before I actually put anything in the bowl, I want to mark the locations of where everything's going to go. And I've already done a little mock-up, so I know how I want it to be. So to mark the location for the cereal box, I'm using my X-Acto knife again. I put the box in the bowl, and now I'm just cutting little holes to describe the location of the box. So now later, I can see that the box goes right there, based on the holes. For the marshmallows, I don't need to put them in. I've already done the mock-up and I know essentially how I want them to go. So what I'm doing is poking holes that I can put their mounting wires into. And there you can see the locations everything's going to go. Now I'm ready to mount everything in the bowl. So what I'm going to do is just push the mounting wire down into the caulk. And the problem I have here is that the marshmallow doesn't grip the wire as strongly as the caulk does. So all I do is just take the wire out of the marshmallow, push it into the caulk, and then put the marshmallow back on the wire using the same hole I made originally. Now the good thing about this wire is that once the marshmallows are in place, I can bend it to position them exactly how I want them. And when I put the glue in, the glue will hide the wire, so that the marshmallow just looks like it's floating. And there's how everything's gonna go in the final product. So now that I've got everything mounted, I'm going to fill up the empty space with the Elmer's glue. Just use my giant head. And I'm just putting in enough glue to reach up and cover the mounting wires, and also touch the bottoms of the marshmallows. Around the cereal box, I just want it to grab the sides of the box and hold it in place. Extra glue to touch it up. And there it is with the glue in, but it's not dry yet. And that's what it looks like when it's dry. You can see it holds the box in place and hides the sticks holding up the marshmallows. So now it's time to add the cereal pieces. And to do that, I'm going to add another layer of the Elmer's glue, using the same strategy as before, just enough to grab the sides of the cereal box and reach up and touch the bottom of the marshmallows, and also hide the sticks, holding the marshmallows up. So once I've got enough glue, it's time to add the cereal pieces. And so I'll just pick the side of the cereal piece that looks the best on top, and I just stick the pieces into the glue in the gaps between the marshmallows and the gap between the marshmallows and the cereal box. And there we have the finished Super Mario Cereal Amiibo. Now, let's take another look at this little beauty. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, if you want to win this little guy, head over to Turbo Thumbs on Twitter by following the link in the description. Follow us, and then tweet us at turbo_thumbs and tell us you want the Super Mario Cereal Amiibo. Now, this contest is United States only, and it's first come, first served. But don't let that stop you. If you're not the first one watching this video, your chances of winning are still good. Well, that's all we've got for you this time. But before we go, I want to give a shout out to Travis, our good friend over on Facebook. this one's for you, buddy. Well, that's it for this time. If you like what you've seen here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat at the links in the description. That's it for this time on Techno Thumbs. I have been Rasta Joe, and thank you for checking out Turbo Thumbs.